Hi, I'm Natalie. Last time we talked about how I had opened my marriage and started to live a part-time single life for 1 week a month. Now today, I really want to discuss guilt because guilt was something that I felt immediately, and it was something that I felt pretty consistently and battled for around the first year to two of my new open marriage. Now, my guilt did not start at having sex outside of my marriage or even talking to other people outside of my marriage. My guilt started with understanding and realizing that I wasn't monogamous. From there, it kind of followed me right on through to having the desire to change the makeup of my marriage. So now I was dealing with this immense amount of guilt that I wasn't a stereotypical wife and mother, and that I didn't want a standard monogamous marriage. That hit me hard because I didn't know the alternatives and I didn't know what was going to happen. I mean, if I didn't find another route, how was I going to find happiness? And then that brought on it guilt because now I had the realization that my children and my husband simply weren't enough, that I wanted something for me too. So now I'm in a marriage with children and I want a slice of independence. I want something that's just mine. And I want the ability to create my own identity. I want to be able to explore my life and see what I want. I mean, I love being a wife and I love being a mother. And I love watching them, achieve everything that they have and, continuously go for their goals. But those are their achievements. Those are not mine. And I wanted something that was mine. I wanted the freedom to still live. I wanted to open my life and see what was there. I no longer wanted these restrictions that I didn't see were necessary anymore. And that brought on a lot of guilt because I knew I was completely different or the other side of the spectrum of what a wife and mother should look like. And it didn't matter how much volunteering I was doing, I was still different. And that created so much guilt in me for my children. It almost seemed like I was okay being different as long as no one knew. But now that people would know, I had guilt for my children, that I wasn't this standard definition of what a mom is. So one way that I learned to move through this type of guilt was I would go to my partner, I would go to Dan and ask for reassurance. So we would continuously have these talks about how, I feel guilty that I want other people, that I want to have these experiences, that I want to travel, that I want to have an independent life. And the more we talked about it, the better it felt because he wanted that too. Because he could understand that, just because we created this incredible home life together, it didn't mean that it was completely fulfilling to me. And he had the band and, he had his work and career and he was doing so much. And for me, I felt like I was just the support to everyone else. But it was also battling with the acknowledgement that I'm just not monogamous. And once I could accept that, then I could be confident in it. And once I could be confident in it, guilt really had nowhere to live anymore. But it takes time. It took a lot of help and reassurance from my partner. And when I got that, it made it much easier to change my inner voice and to be able to calm my own thoughts down and to reassure myself when he wasn't available. I mean, as long as everybody that should be in the know is in the know, then we're good. Now, once I was able to work through that type of guilt, it prepared me for a new type of guilt, which is the external guilt that showered in from friends, family, people in your community, maybe your church. Because let's face it, everybody has an opinion, and an open marriage looks like a broken marriage to people who don't understand that non-monogamy is a thing, and it's not just something that we do because, you know, we're broken and have trauma. It's something we do because it's who we are and we enjoy it, and it's something we thrive in. So you will hear things like, you know, did you go to counseling? Have you tried this? There is going to be a plethora of ways to fix your marriage, to fix you. Have you thought about staying together for the children and just not doing this until they're 18? Have you thought of more ways to put your own life on hold to feed everybody else's dreams? Because that's all I heard. That's all I ever heard, was how I could do more of what I was doing, which still wasn't fulfilling. But no one was willing to listen to me, to understand that, hey, I do love being a wife and I love being a mother. But that's not just something that I can enjoy if I'm monogamous. That's something I can enjoy regardless. But there's still more that I want. There's still more I want to explore. There's experiences I want to have. And I don't want to feel guilty about those. So, my best tip is this. When you feel it on the inside, go to your partner for reassurance and really learn to tame those feelings. And understand that it's old thoughts that are creeping in that reinforce those feelings of like, but that's what we've always known. Different isn't wrong. You're going to do great. When you have the guilt coming from the other side and it's coming from other people, I want you to remember a couple of things. The first is that opinions matter on two occasions. First, if it affects you, your opinion matters. And if it's asked for, your opinion matters. But short of that, their opinion doesn't matter. It just really doesn't. You don't have to listen to it. The second thing that I can tell you, and this is across the board in any marriage, whether it's open, closed, or whatever, is that a marriage consists of two people. And those two people get to decide the makeup of it, you know, how it functions, what the rules will be within that marriage. They get to decide. It's not a group project. It's not a community project. You don't have to ask anybody else. I mean, you're welcome to go to a counselor, a therapist, to help you put together the pieces if that's what you want. But you are under absolutely no obligation to listen to outside interference or take any of their advice. It is your marriage, and that marriage consists of two people, two individuals. Only they decide. Take comfort in the fact that your marriage is your marriage. And if other people don't agree with the way that you run your marriage, it actually doesn't matter. That is up to them to deal with and has nothing to do with you. Never trade in your happiness for other people's comfort. We've all been uncomfortable and we've all made it through perfectly fine. There has been nothing that how other people live that's made us uncomfortable, that's left everlasting trauma. It's okay. As long as your marriage is done in an open and honest way with each other, nothing else matters. And that is something that you can just take with you and continuously tell yourself. Outside opinion just doesn't matter. You are more than free and more than able to live completely guilt-free in your new open life. Thanks.